Okay. Hi, hello, Chebat again,
Hello, Dr. K. It's lovely to see you again.
and you. And thank you for agreeing to join me on this today. I really do appreciate you taking the time out.
Sure.
Um, so we're just going to chat. Obviously, we're going to chat about your having come on my program and you worked through it. Let me just say before we start, you're one of my best clients because you just got on with it with everything that was going on around you. You just got on with everything, and it was just lovely working with you.
Thank
Um,
you so much.
so, what I want to say is obviously you came on my 3 month program and you come out the other end looking lovely and rosy. And I just want to say, I know you had a pretty rocky road in terms of your health before you came to me. Tell us about some of the issues you were experiencing and give us a kind of historical background on where you were coming from with health-wise.
Yes, sure. I would love to. I had um, a rough upbringing at some point in my life.
Mhm.
So I had my rucksack full of problems, I think, and psychological issues I needed to face. And I think that those influenced, of course, my health in general. I had several allergies for pollen, for example, or for several fruits connected to the pollen, of course. And unfortunately, some operations because of the health problems I had. And yeah, so there were several issues, not only um, physically, but also, um, I would say, mentally, in the direction of self-esteem and to be sure of myself. And I apologize if my English is not always in the way it should be, because English is not my native tongue. So yeah, it's most German. So
Yes, so
I'm more fluent in every other language, I think, than sometimes in English. So
uh,
apologies for this.
no, you don't need to apologize. I think you're doing extremely well, much better
Thank
than me.
you.
I only speak one language. So, so
It's a
you're
lot
doing
of the people who speak English from beginning.
right, right. So that covers a lot of what has been going on. Would you mind being a little more specific about some of the issues like gallbladder, that sort of thing, some of
Yes,
the
yes,
operations that you had, etc.?
yes. I have a very stressful job, and all this stress has an effect on, or had an effect on my body and every cell, as I've learned from you. So this caused several stomach issues, and of course, it resulted in a very big or large um, gallbladder stone, and this had to be removed in an emergency operation this last March. Sorry, it's 2024. Last
Yes.
March, and
So they removed your gallbladder.
yes,
Hmm.
exactly. They removed the
Right.
gallbladder, and I was feeling very miserable at the
Right.
time. Yeah.
Mm, mm. So, tell me how you came to find me.
Yes.
I know, I know, but I want you to tell me.
Sure. you know, sometimes life has mysterious ways, and 2 years or 3 years ago, I've joined a fitness application, and one of the teachers was Tasha Dennis.
Mhm.
And obviously, Tasha is your daughter, and we have been chatting some time. And one time I've mentioned that I felt very sick, and I'm not depressed, but not feeling good about myself. And then she asked me if I have considered holistic medicine.
Mhm.
And then I mentioned that I live in Germany, and I do not know anyone or any doctor in this field who's reliable. And then she offered me to give me a contact to a very good doctor. And this was
No
the
bias.
way. And there I was. Exactly.
Oh, so you started the program. Give me an idea about how long the period was. Um, over what period were you experiencing all these things? I know you haven't mentioned everything, and there's quite a lot that went on there with all the tests and all the different experience that you were having. What period did those go on for? I know I've got down here asthma and knee surgery,
Exactly.
quite a few things were going on. Um, over what period did all that happen? I know a lot of things happened in your childhood,
Yes.
and then gradually over a period of time, these things.
I I think the last maybe 15 to 20 years
Mm,
um, is the time span where um, month by month or year by year the symptoms gradually um, um, became more and more. It
right,
started with one allergy, then the next one, for example. Then I had the reflux. Then I developed a mild asthma because of the allergies. And it was, I think it would be better to say it was an alarm or a siren of my body becoming more and more stronger by the time.
right. And once you came on the program, I know you were a little kind of apprehensive at first because you'd not experienced this before. So tell me a bit about that. I'm putting you
Um,
on the putting you in it. Mm,
um, yes, I think because Western medicine or the normal medicine we experience has a different approach to healing the body, and I think I was not influenced by it, but it was the only thing I knew good. So this was, I think, one of the reasons I was a bit hesitant at first.
yes, and most
Yeah,
people are. So I'm not throwing you in it. Most people are because a lot of people are not familiar with this type of health and healing. So at first, everyone's a little skeptical because they've not had any experience with this and they're used to the allopathic medicine. Um,
exactly.
okay, so tell me about your journey through the program.
It's I think it was a journey with a lot of ups, some downs. Um, it started with cleaning and cleansing the body first, and then building up slow, yeah,
Mm,
step by step,
yeah.
to regain my health.
Right.
And
Right.
um, I think the first thing, the cleansing period, is very interesting. I had doubts sometimes that this would help, but it did help, and I trusted you. And this is, I think, one of the most important things that
Yeah.
has to be between a patient and its doctor, the trust.
Absolutely, absolutely, because otherwise it doesn't work. So I was really appreciative of that, that you took my advice. And when things erupted, as they do sometimes, as we're going
Yes,
through the process, because the body has to work its own way,
yes,
and it doesn't always do what we expect it to do, or from what we
sure.
know, from what we know generally out there, we expect the body to behave in a certain way, and it does something completely different, because as we said, the body heals itself. So
Correct.
we're assisting it, and and giving it what it needs so that it can do so. So
And another thing was, I was already for over 10 years a vegan, so my step into the program was very easy for me because it's plant-based already. The only step was to change it from cooked food to eating only raw. But I love it still, and I'm doing it still. And even my friends are, isn't the program over? You could eat now. Yeah, I could, but I don't want to because I
yes.
feel good with this food.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I love the way you've just embraced the eating and
Thanks.
all those wonderful recipes that you prepare. I'm going to put all of them in my recipe book, which is coming up soon, and put it out there. You've been sending me these wonderful recipes. So you've just embraced it. And like you say, you already had some experience because you had taken on veganism. I just sort of tweaked it a bit for you and helped you along the way. And tell me about now. I know we had some um, experiences which I had to explain to you during the period where um, I had to explain to you that the body heals itself in its own time. And sometimes when you're going through this type of healing, it will heal things that have been there for many years, sometimes that have been there since childhood, which you probably thought was never thought about because it happened and you never really needed to think about it again. And then the body starts to heal it. And of course, with healing comes inflammation. So I know you had a couple of incidences where you had
Yeah,
things swelling up, and for no reason at all, you
yeah.
thought.
For no reason at all. One time, my finger overnight just did swell on the double size, and it freaked me out at first. You could
Yeah.
you cannot imagine how the image was in the morning, and
Yes, I can.
I straight went to my orthopedist
Yes.
and to my GP for blood testing, and yeah, the next day it was all gone.
Yes.
It
Yes.
was like it had never been there, so it's very interesting. Or a rash, for example, a little rash on my hand.
Hmm.
Yes, and now it's gone.
Yes, yes. And you begin to understand what I was trying
Exactly.
to get across to you, that the body does its own healing. And this is why it's necessary for me to educate you when you come on the program, because you will experience things that um, are so unfamiliar that you panic. And believe
I
me,
did panic. I did panic. And this was very good because even that we have a time difference between us, I could send you anytime a message, and as soon as you were up or you saw it, you replied or even called me.
yes,
Um,
absolutely.
yes,
It's necessary, and I know that it's necessary for me to be there because this is so unfamiliar, and because some things are so drastic. The manifestation of the healing is so drastic. I've had experiences in the past of people who just go to the doctor, and the doctor will give them pills, and if they can't reach me, they start to take the pills, or they will um, put dressings on and things. So I try to be there so that that doesn't happen. So I can explain to you what's going on so you can understand, and then you relax. And as soon as you relax, the body gets back to work. And the next thing you know, the whole thing is gone. So you had a couple of those instances, and that was great. So after that happened, how did that make you feel more confident about the journey you were on?
Sure. It gave me another or a new perspective on how my healing journey will develop, because um, over 35 years, um, all this happened to my body, and it cannot be gone in 3 or 4 months. This is
Uh-huh.
impossible. So I think in the next years, some things will happen, and I know that there is a possibility that this is an old thing and my body is just healing it. And I think that I have never had a period in my life, um, for over 4 or 5 months now, that I haven't taken any pill
Mm-hmm.
for
Brilliant.
my allergies, or even like ibuprofen for pain or something, because now I know I need to experience those to know, especially the pain,
Mm,
for example, for my knee or something, to
mm.
know that my knee needs rest now, and I
Yes,
need to take the time.
yes, absolutely. Because you're giving the body the energy it needs to do what it's doing. And once you understand what it's doing, then you do what is necessary. And that's really great. That's such a big part of the understanding. And I know that uh, it's gone out of my head what I was going to ask you next.
No problem.
But you have an understanding now that the body doesn't heal at your request. It does its own healing in its own time. And gradually, as you go along, even though you've experienced so much healing and so much moving forward in all aspects of your healing, um, your body will continue to heal as long as you continue to live the lifestyle and do what you know is necessary. And it will come one day when you realize that it's plateaued and you feel absolutely wonderful. And well, you are feeling wonderful, but it will continue to grow. So tell me now how uh, give me an overview of how you're feeling and how you're moving forward. I know that you're very positive now about moving forward, and in terms of your work, I know you were having a lot of stress in that region. So give me an overview now of how you're moving forward and how you're approaching life. What's the difference now, how you approach life?
Um, I approach life, I think, differently now, because I always try to be centered and believe in myself and not doubt myself and feel myself worthy for everything that I do.
And
Sometimes, of course, every one of us has those dark days,
oh yes,
and
everyone.
I try to overcome those. Um, Usually I meditate, and I do my morning affirmations,
Yes.
and those, especially the affirmations, they put a smile on my face every morning.
Brilliant, brilliant.
um, so yes, and I try with that. Of course, I still have those days
Oh yes,
where I cannot, or am feeling not good about myself. But I
yes. But
try to overcome those, and this is,
ab
I think, the long perspective.
absolutely. And that's the great thing because now you have the tools to work
Yeah.
on them because you that's what happens. You keep practicing it, practicing the tools, and eventually one day you wake up and you think, oh, I had a little moment there, but it didn't last long. I
Yes,
turned it around immediately. And your life becomes a lot more relaxed, and a lot more time is spent being happy.
yes.
So I am so glad. Um, Anything you would like to say? Anything before we
Um,
wrap up? Because I think we're coming
yes,
to.
I think that following your instructions is essential. Although, for example, I am not able to do every day my workout, but I'm trying to do them. So even here, it's, I think, the long perspective to stay on the track is important. And yeah, I think this
Mm,
is everything.
mm. And
And
just
even that
before you.
I haven't lost all the weight that I wanted to be gone, it's still the same. And it's not going, but according to my eating, because I eat a lot of nuts, it's normal. It's winter. I need those
Yes, but
good fat
eventually.
and protein. And in the summer, I think it will change.
Yes, eventually, as part of the healing process, that will level itself out as well. Because as the healing takes place, your body adjusts itself. So that will adjust itself. So maybe next summer we can have another one of these conversations and see how far
Thank
you
you.
are in
Yes,
that respect. Um, and I just wanted to say you've been a couple of times to the doctors. And I remember recently, even when you went with the swollen finger, they couldn't find anything wrong.
no,
And
no, my blood work was perfect.
mm,
I haven't had, I always had a good blood work because I
yeah,
ate plant-based, but
yeah,
it became even better, and my doctor couldn't believe it.
great, great. And your dentist as well. I mean, you're
Yes,
telling me that the
yes,
dentist asking you if you've been doing wonderful things to your teeth.
exactly, exactly. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Mm,
we haven't seen them so good in such a good condition.
mm.
Um, although that I never go for the, I don't know the English word for the cleaning
Yes, yes,
procedure. I don't need this because I always keep a good
right,
dental hygiene.
right.
Um, and even though that I do not use fluoridized toothpaste anymore,
Mm.
he was very happy with it.
Yes, that's brilliant because it shows that when your blood work comes out perfect, everything, that you are on that healing road. So just
Yes,
continue doing what you're doing, continue on. And remember, in everything, I'm not going anywhere, I'm not leaving the planet. So I am here.
thank you.
Always, if you need to relate to me, anything to me, or I am still here, regardless of the fact that you're no longer on the program. You're still in my group. Okay.
And
Um,
as I've said before, thank you so much for coming into my life.
and thank you. You've been a blessing in my program and for me as well. And we've had some good times along the way. So
Yes,
it's been very enjoyable actually.
yes,
So thank you so much. Thank you
thank
very,
you.
very much for choosing me. And thank you for staying with me even when the going got rough. Um, and
Sure.
I look forward to continuing to liaise with you. And those wonderful recipes, keep sending them.
I will. I will. Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Take care. All righty. Bless you.
Thank you.